I feel like Unc right now. God damn it. Welcome everybody back to another live episode of Gambling Nights, our late night show talking funny, crazy, all the soap operas that's going on in sports. We got a ton of hot topics to discuss tonight. If you like talking hot topics in sports, you know what you're talking about. Pull up a chair, grab yourself a drink, ask some comments. Let's get into the show. Let's go right at it, bro. What the hell is going on here in Philadelphia? Are you ready? Are you ready to hit the? Are you ready to hit the panic button? Like everybody and their mom in Philadelphia talking. I got videos after videos after videos of everybody got something to say about Philadelphia and the Philadelphia Eagles and how they just lost to the Atlanta Falcons on Monday Night Football, 23-22. Now, I don't know about you. I mean, people calling for Sirianni's seat. They pointing the finger at Vangio. They pointing the finger at the pass rush. They pointing the finger at the play call. They pointing the finger at the field goal. They pointing the finger at going for it on fourth. They're pointing the finger at Sirianni running down there with C.J. Garner-Johnson. They pointing the finger everywhere they can point it at what's going on in Philadelphia. Let me ask you a question, bro. People out there watching YouTube, Facebook, Twitter. Is it time to panic in Philly? Ooh, you pause right there. Dude, man.
I don't know if it's a panic. I don't know if it's a panic. I think it's a realization.
Mm.
You know what I mean? I think it's a realization that
2-7 in the last 9.
that we may not be who we think we should be or who we thought we were going to be.
Okay.
I think y'all can look at the tapes. Nick Sirianni ain't that guy.
I disagree.
He's a CEO coach that don't know how to coach. That's not a leader of men.
I'm riding with Nick on this one.
That is a fan on the sideline. And that don't get your guys going or make them accountable. That's number one. Right. We get to the logistics of what we got right now. We got to, and it goes back to Nick again. How do you not have any of your starters playing in the preseason?
Oh, you one of those boys, huh?
I'm just telling you the truth. You got a new defensive coordinator. Yeah. You got a new offensive coordinator. You got a new center. You got a bunch of new pieces out there. Why aren't they playing and practicing to win?
So that's where you pointing the finger. You pointing the finger at preseason.
It's always going to be top down. I'm pointing the finger at the top. The top starts with Nick Sirianni. That's what I'm pointing the finger at.
Okay. That's fair enough.
Right? We can go back to every play and say, oh, if he did this, we would have did that. Well, yeah, you're right. We'd have kicked the field goal. We'd be up 24-20 versus what we were, right? If we ran the ball, the clock would have definitely went down to 40 seconds versus a minute and 30. I mean, we can go back and forth and see. So I take it as the head man has to put your players in the best position to win. He doesn't do that, and is showing that we've lost 6 of our last games ahead in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, something like that.
Who's that? That's game management, correct?
Yeah, I don't like using last year because the whole thing fell apart. But we're not in collapse though, bro. Like, come on.
I'm not saying we are in a place of panic. I just think that our expectations was much higher, and our defense can't stop a nosebleed. Yeah, we got the bend don't break mentality, which has helped us out. But at the end of the day, we see it glaring facts that once the tape is out there and we realize we don't have no pass rush, we can't get on the quarterback or get in his face at all.
We knew that though. We talked about how.
Yeah, but I mean, well, then you can't. Then the expectation should never be where it should be.
Right.
If you can't, you're not going to win football without a pass rush. So whatever defense you're going to start doing, more blitzing, more 5-man rushes to get some type of pressure on the quarterback and believing you're back in. But we still got a rookie back there at corner who has made some plays, who looks good at times, but he also looks lost at times.
No, he got cooked twice. Robinson,
right? So and that happens. Your cornerback is going to happen, especially when you're a young cornerback. You can't have it happen by your veteran and Slay over there looking in the backfield.
Wrong on that one.
Right. Like the wrong time. But at the end of the day, our defense is not a championship defense at this point. So I'm not saying it's the panic. I'm saying for us to think that we're going to be a 12-win team, I would check that because our schedule, although it's lighter than it was last year, there's some sneaky teams up here that's going to give us some shit throughout this year. And it starts next week.
I'm glad you said championship defense. Nick Wright had an interesting take here on Colin Cowherd. Let me play it real quick.
Nick Wright.
A Super Bowl team. I don't know that they're. I think even that statement might be overrating them. I don't know that they're a playoff team. They have lost 7 of 9 last year across the board. They had a bottom 5 defense. This year, across the board, they have a bottom 5 defense. I liked their draft picks, but rookies don't typically instantly help you in the secondary. That's how they were going to fix their secondary. They paid Devin White to come in to fix their linebackers. He's a healthy scratch. I had to listen to people be like, oh, man, you guys let the Eagles get Jahan Dotson. Oh, look at that top 3 receivers. Unfortunately for those folks, I've watched Jahan Dotson's career, and there's a reason he was available for a 3rd-round pick. Yesterday, A.J. Brown out. Dotson runs 25 routes, 1 catch, 6 yards. They are as poorly coached, and I know it's weird because Sirianni's got a great record, but he makes his 4th down decisions like a blackjack player that alternates hitting on a 12 against a 2 based on feel of the deck. And then at the end of games, he makes incomprehensibly bad calls, which is one of the reasons the Eagles in their last 8 games 3 times have led in the final 2 minutes and lost. And then there's Jalen, who I did think played really well for the bulk of yesterday because he went back to running the football when necessary.
All right, his voice gets annoying after a while. So,
I mean, what's what I said?
Right, exactly. I mean, it's almost verbatim of what you were just talking about. This is the first time I'm actually listening to it. I heard the first snippet of it, but I know he gets under people's skin because people hate him a little hard. They're definitely a playoff team. They're not. You know what I mean? They're what I say they're a Super Bowl team? No, but it's also week 2.
We don't know. I mean, I'm not on Nick. I think they're a playoff team, but I don't know what they are because I don't know if this team's going to be able to fall right back in that same place they went to last year. And that to me is up top. It starts at the top. They lost trust in the locker room. Whatever happened in that locker room happened. It happened. You just don't fall off a cliff that way. Something in the locker room happened. The head coach could not control that. That's a problem. And for you to bring him back, Howie, is a testament to what you want to do. So you have these players that, stacked up. You put them on the line. You put them on paper. Saquon, AJ, Devontae, Jalen Hurts. You got all these names.
Right.
But if they're not assembled correctly with the right leadership, right, you will fail. You will fail. You have a coach that continuously makes crucial mistakes. You want to say he's aggressive, right? Oh, well, we know he's aggressive. Yeah, he's aggressive sometimes. And then next thing you know, you're like, well, what the fuck are you doing? Why are you doing this now? Like it doesn't make any sense.
Here's my problem with this whole everybody's got an opinion about it. Is that if Saquon catches the ball, we're not having this conversation. It's not even close
that's just a bad argument, though.
How is it a bad argument?
Because it doesn't matter. It's not a good play.
What do you mean it was open?
It doesn't mean it's a good play. But guess what he didn't do?
An open play doesn't mean it's a good play?
Now this is a perfect. Guess what happens, right? Guess what happens when you do those things and it doesn't go the way it should go?
We're here.
That's what I'm talking about. But guess what doesn't happen when you do what you should do?
So you're talking about run the ball. Everybody's saying run the ball.
Football is football. You take the 3 points. We
They
lost by
people in the box.
lost by 1. You should have took the field goal in the first quarter.
I agree with that. He should have took the field goal.
It's the same thing. So the same thing can say, well,
It's
what if
not
we
the
won?
same thing.
What if we won the game? You'd be like, oh, well, it doesn't matter. They caught their points. No, it is. It's still football. You still have to make the right decisions in the game at the right time. And because when you don't, they will come back and haunt you. You do not put the ball in the air. You're not playing the Falcons at that time. You know what you're playing at that time? You're playing the clock. That's all you're playing. I'm not playing the Falcons. I have 2 down.
Win the game if he catches the ball.
I have 2 down. I'm not playing the clock. I'm running the clock down.
Oh, man. I think the second option that people are not thinking about on that play is that if it's not open and it's covered, Jalen can take the sack and the clock continuously runs. I think he has 2 options in that play. If Saquon's open in the flat, you throw it. But if he's not,
Saquon Barkley was averaging 6 to 8 yards a carry.
Not against 10 in the box, though.
Jalen Hurts was averaging 6 to 8 yards a carry.
But that's what I'm saying. That's the second option.
You have a unstoppable play that's called the tush push that cannot be stopped in your repertoire. And you're telling me you're going to run a pass play when the clock is our friend?
It was the perfect call. It was the perfect call.
Yeah, it was. And we lost. Perfect call. Yeah. Perfect call. This goes back to what I said. Putting your players not in position to win. That's not a winning play.
Bro, he caught 4 passes in the game already. Why wouldn't you throw to Saquon?
That's not a winning play.
Yo, I don't know about that, bro.
It's not.
It is. I completely disagree. Everybody's tripping about this play and pointing the finger at Sirianni. It was a perfect call. If Kellen Moore made the call and they liked it, they went with it. The look, we're talking football. The look made sense. You don't run against 10 in the box. You just don't.
Why? What does it matter? What does it matter? What if
it's not a positive play?
So what if they get stopped? What am I playing against, Nate?
But then we just nail the ball.
They nail the ball.
Right, he should have nailed the ball.
But that would make sense because you running against 10 in the box don't mean you're not going to get forward progress. You got one of the best offensive lines in the league, if not the top 2, top 3. They were getting you 6 to 8 yards a carry. It doesn't matter. It was a bad play. Yes, it was open. Yes, he should have caught the pass. Yes, if he did, we would have won the game. But it wasn't the right play to call.
I can't get on the same. I can't get on the same page of saying open play was a bad call.
I'm trying to put it in perspective.
No, I understand your side of it. I don't agree with it. Like I just don't. I understand your logic.
But
I understand
Nate,
running the ball.
We lost because we did that.
But we're saying that, but they still had
no. We're not saying that. It happened. It factually happened.
So hold on. They run against 10 in the box. They get stopped. Right?
The clock runs.
They call a timeout.
They don't have no timeouts. Atlanta had no timeouts. Atlanta had no timeouts, Nate. It was the dumbest play on the planet. Nah,
bro. Falcons had 2 timeouts.
They had 0. What are you talking about? It was 3rd and 3. They had no timeouts. What do you mean? Now you're looking at it. Now think about it. No,
because I gotta check my shit, right?
Check. I'm telling you.
I'm just saying. Because I'm almost positive. Because I'm
you're 100% wrong. The chat can help you if they're in there.
The chat can help me. All right. So anybody know out there in the chat, did Atlanta Falcons have timeouts at the end of the game?
No. Don't forget. Remember this. They went off sides on purpose because they didn't have no timeouts. So guess what they did before the 2-minute warning? Nick Sirianni declined it, which was a good coaching decision, and we ran it for the first down. Once we ran it for the first down, they had no more timeouts once we got to 3rd down. And then what we tried to do was get them to jump off sides. Then we had to call a timeout. So we called a timeout. Nick Sirianni's upset. and then they go back out there and they run that pass play, which stops the clock. Atlanta had 0 timeouts. That clock's going to run down to about 40 seconds.
I swear we had timeouts.
And then it's still 4th down.
Mm-hmm. Well, let me ask you about this. What about the offensive drive to go win the game?
Right.
Nobody's talking about that. So we had timeouts though. We had
2.
We had 2.
Yeah.
We had 2 timeouts with 30 seconds to get down the field, and he throws a pickle.
He throws a pick. Yeah. He made a terrible decision.
Ain't nobody talking about that shit though.
Because it does matter. That does matter. We had an opportunity.
That absolutely matters.
We had an opportunity to go and win the game.
Exactly.
100%.
Elite quarterbacks do that.
Elite. But did you ask me we were talking about Jalen Hurts? You asked me what I think the issue is.
Right.
It starts with the head coach. Jalen Hurts shouldn't be in that position to have to do that, because we had the chance to win the game prior to that, and that was before you pass the ball. Because guess what? That's what happens. All these other things can happen for you to not win the ball game. It was a 0.07% chance, 0.07% chance for the Falcons to win that game. The only way they have that 0.07% chance is because the option of us stopping the clock, which is idiotic, was part of that play.
Starting out to like Emmanuel
Offense, obviously. A couple people are to blame. This person's blame never usually comes out of my mouth, but I will say this, and we have a close enough relationship for me to say it. Howie Roseman. There's a disconnect between the general manager, Howie Roseman, and the defensive coordinator, Vic Fangio. What do I mean? The Eagles do not have a pass rusher that can win by himself. As a result, the Eagles defensive coordinator, Vic Fangio, he chooses to send pressure early on in the game. What happened when he sent pressure early on in the game? Darnell Mooney beats Chauncey Gardner-Johnson for the 41-yard touchdown. That was the only touchdown the Falcons had throughout the duration of the first 58 minutes of ball. So now with a minute and a half left, what does Vic Fangio do? He reverts back to his roots. Fangio does not like to send pressure. He likes to rush 4 and win with 4. The dilemma is Howie Roseman has not equipped Vic Fangio with the roster that can win with 4. Vic Fangio had the #1 defense in football in 2018 with the Chicago Bears.
All right, he's talking about other stuff I don't really care about. Now, we're talking about looking at the top. Is this a Howie Roseman problem?
Yeah. Yeah. He didn't pay his son Reddit. Yeah.
He did not.
100%. We traded for a bum. We got a bum out here. Huff is trash, garbage. He's just not smart because he's not getting that off that defense.
Yeah, I tried to defend him a little bit. You already know what I feel about Huff, Hassan, Nolan Smith. You know how I feel about this whole defensive line. We went about that a lot. But what I kind of was trying to get at was that maybe he's doing too much. Now, maybe in the Jets, it was
wait. What's he doing? He has done absolutely nothing.
Well, maybe he's got too much responsibility now because now
he's getting down blocked by a tight end. What are we talking about?
That's one play.
Nate, I don't think you're watching the game.
Whoa! Come on now.
I don't think you're watching the game.
Come on.
You said you gave me 2 questions. You started to make me think about it because you said that they had timeouts when we know they didn't. That was the biggest issue. And then you saying that Mr. Huff is having too much responsibility, and all he got to do
because he ain't never been in this position before. That's all I'm saying. When he was on the Jets on elite defense, all he had to do was rush the passer. That's it. He had to do nothing else. Just go get the quarterback. Now he's got to play the run. He's got to worry about holding down to the tight end. If the tight end releases, he's got to worry about outside contain. He's on 1st, 2nd, and down. You play the position. You know it's a different game when it's 3rd and long and you know they got to pass. You can put your hand in the dirt and go. Versus, okay, it's 3rd and 3 or 2nd and 4. Play action might come. So it's a different game. He ain't never been in this position before. Fangio even said it himself. He's a part-time guy. Or, like you kind of said already, maybe he's just not a smart player. You can have all the athletic gifts in the world, but if you're a dumb player, you're going to look dumb on the field.
That's what it looks like. So that's $50 million how he's invested in a player. You had Fangio before you had Huff.
Right.
Like what we? This is not. it starts at the top.
It sounds like you ready to panic. That's what it sounds
I'm
like.
not in panic. I just see I panic when it's like things are just going up in flames. My expectations are now changing because I see the product, and I thought things were going to change a little bit. I don't know why I thought that by giving a little bit of grace to Nick, but I realized that Nick's the same guy. And hopefully, this is my problem with it, is that you start to wear the – listen, Jalen Hurts has already had 3 offensive coordinators in 4 years. That's not a good sign.
Yeah.
That doesn't happen. You should be 1 year in the Super Bowl. Yeah, maybe you might lose those guys because they're going to start cherry picking off the top, right? But after that, if you're a good head coach, people should be coming and running to you to say, "Hey, this is a good opportunity over here."
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like another thing I got today. You know, he didn't speak to the locker room after that game.
Well, he said Hurts stood up
What
and
the
said
fuck?
something.
This is what I'm talking about. We done did that already. We did that last year.
What's wrong with Hurts talking to the team?
Because you're the head coach. It's week 2. You got to set the standard of who you are, Nick.
Why? People know who he is. What standard that has he got to set? What are you talking about?
What do you think he is?
He's the head coach of the Philadelphia Eagles.
Is he?
Yes.
If you're in that locker room, is that what you think?
Absolutely. Why? Why don't you think that? Like why? Because he's not making what we consider, right? We're on the outside looking in. We're not head coaches. We're not OCs. These guys get paid to do this.
You want to know why?
Why, bro?
Because we just fell off a cliff not even that long ago.
This
under my watch, doing the same exact thing. You telling me I'm going to give the keys after what I just seen out there to Jalen Hurts? No, I'm not. And you want to know why it's a problem? Because the players were talking about it. If it wasn't a problem, the players wouldn't talk about it. You had Blankenship talking about, yeah, he didn't speak to us. You had another player say, yeah, he didn't speak to us. That's an issue. You think Nick Saban's not speaking to his team? You think Andy Reid's not speaking to his team?
Even so, if Patrick Mahomes decided to say something, do you think Andy would just step up and say something too? No.
Patrick Mahomes played 2 games in preseason. You think he wanted to play?
But we're not talking about that. We're talking about if they would talk in the locker room. You can't mix now that he did preseason. That has no relevance.
What I'm saying is you respect the coach. There's a reason why he's saying, Coach, I got this one over here. Because whatever the shit you're going to talk about, because we already hear Nick Sirianni in these press conferences sounding real ridiculous, drawing a bunch of shit out. I don't want to hear him either. I don't. If I'm in the locker room, yeah, I don't want to hear you, Nick.
Yeah,
I don't.
I don't got no problem.
I'm going to listen to somebody that I respect because I want to hear what he got to say. That's the difference.
It's so funny how we fell off of Nick Sirianni. He took us to a Super Bowl 2 years ago.
Fell off? What did he do? What has he done,
bro? Is that not an accomplishment or something?
He didn't do anything.
He was the coach.
He then did nothing. Just like he's not doing nothing now. That's why we are where we are.
But hold on. Why does the coach need to do more than be a head coach? Why does the coach need to be an OC? Why does the coach need to be a DC?
No.
Why can't the coach just be a coach?
Because you know what a coach needs to do? He needs to be a leader of men and make good decisions and game management. He doesn't do that. So he's not a good coach.
Man, the OC, we're not talking about this if this guy catches the ball, man. We're not even having this conversation.
But I was having a conversation when we didn't kick the 3 in the first quarter. That was the first thing I said. Like, what are we doing?
No, I agree.
So why are you giving him passes for the dumb shit that he does later in the game?
I'm not giving him passes.
No, you definitely give him passes.
I ain't giving him passes.
You just said that he led us to a Super Bowl and he hasn't done shit. The real Nick Sirianni is this here is the real Nick Sirianni. If our offensive coordinator wasn't Shane Steichen, and my man is the head coach for Arizona at the moment, I can't think of his name right now. Gannon. I'm sorry.
Gannon.
And they were our leaders in that locker room.
But that's what leaders do. They put people in positions to win. Like, what are we talking? Like, here's a perfect example: money, pop betting, gambling nights. You are my guy because you're just as good, if not better, than me at betting. Like, why wouldn't I put somebody in a position? Like, what are we talking about?
Because my work shows. Tell me, you know what? There's never been a time you said, "Damn, that was a Knicks game. That was a Knick game right there." I done said that about Andy Reid. I done said that about Bill Belichick. I done said that about the great coaches that lead men. Like, damn, that was nice. That combination was nice.
Nick don't have a Knick game.
You never had that. The Super Bowl run. You never had that. No. Let's not do that. Jalen Hurts went 26-3, and we never said anything about Nick Sirianni. Besides him, riding on the sideline,
disrespecting Nick,
running up and down the joint. Come on, man.
Yeah, I mean, is AJ Brown the most important player on the offense? This is a great question.
It does. It shows that we have no explosion offensively. We had Covey out there catching 7 passes.
That was shit.
What's going on?
Yeah, I don't know what the fix the thing about Covey is. I don't get that at all, man. But like, you know, as you guys can see, a lot of emotion going on in Philly right now about these Philadelphia Eagles in week 3 already. We already here.
I watched you one time just listen to a Nick Sirianni post conference.
Man, I have, man. I felt like I didn't want to listen to him when he talked about the trees and the roots and shit.
So why do you think anybody wants to listen to him?
Because he took us to a Super Bowl, so he proved everybody wrong.
They don't believe that. The locker room don't believe that.
They believed it that year.
Jalen Hurts, you had the whole thing all summer long talking about how Jalen doesn't believe in
Kelsey came back because he believed
in his team, not the
He's
coach.
Part of the team. Like, how do you take the head coach and say it ain't nothing to do with the head coach?
No, it's the difference.
Yeah,
the president's the president. Don't mean you gotta like what he's doing, but you're gonna be there for your soldiers. That's the difference. If I'm in the military,
didn't he lie for AJ Brown?
Hear me what I'm saying?
Didn't he lie for AJ Brown and Jalen?
What I'm saying, because if it's my team, like you, my guy, we on the same team. We've been on the same team.
Yeah,
we rock together. I'm gonna rock with you before I rock with my coach. At the end of the day, regardless. No, hey, that motherfucker, they don't know what he's talking about. Yo, let's go out here and get it. That's why we come back. You know how it is. You know it's okay. It's gonna play out. It's gonna
play out for sure.
It's already playing.
The recipe was there.
It's already playing out.
The recipe was there, and it looked like the recipe was there last year. Now there were some holes, but they were still 10-1. So
and what happened?
And it fell off a motherfucking.
And who couldn't write this? Who couldn't write the shit? The captain. The captain.
Yeah, well, they questioned his captain, and I mean, question his ability to be a captain. So, there's a lot of questions in Philadelphia right now, including our next topic: the Camden Sixers. The Camden Sixers. The Camden Sixers. Today there was a announcement about the Sixers staying home in Philadelphia.
Oh gosh, this is gonna be ridiculous.
Oh man, that picture kind of cut us out a little bit, but it's all right. This is what a concept art of what the new stadium is going to look like in Center City, Philadelphia. Obviously, a lot of noise and issues with our. Let me see if I can do this a little bit better. Asian community. Nope, that didn't work. With how this is all kind of going to look. Maybe that one. It ain't working. Ain't nothing working.
We can drop the picture. I'm sure nobody.
Yeah, we can drop the picture. Sixers staying home. The mayor made an announcement that the Sixers will be staying home. They came to agreement, even though the concept of the Camden Stadium looked unreal. I don't look special. And then people in Jersey, like, get the fuck out of here, Jersey. Y'all, what y'all talking about? Why it's closer? It's right over the. Shut up. Like, it's Philadelphia. It's the Philadelphia Sixers.
Right.
One of the most storied franchises in NBA history. We're gonna move it to Camden. It's not. We gonna say Camden Sixers. It's gonna say Camden on it. Ain't nobody buying that shit.
Definitely gonna be the New Jersey or the Camden Sixers.
Yeah, ain't nobody buying that shit. So I'm really happy that it is staying in Philadelphia. I think it belongs in Philadelphia. What I don't like is a lot of the chatter about, Chinatown and things like that. I'm like, yo, y'all cats been to North Philly, West Philly, South Philly? There's $1 million houses all of a sudden in these areas. Where those people go, right? My grandma was one of them in South Philly. Constantly badgered, constantly people knocking on the door, sell. You know what I mean? So go cry me a river with that bullshit about Chinatown and all that other stuff. I got really no love lost for that at all. Because they've been, you know what I mean? If it was a bunch of black folks down there, what you think they're gonna do? They was gonna pop that thing down there with no questions. You know what I mean?
My biggest thing is I just don't want it to be down there because it's gonna be traffic. That's what I just care about the traffic, parking. We go park. Like the situation we got in Philly with our sports teams is great because it's out the way and people can come down there, park, get up out there, get back to their business. Now you got to worry about where you're going to park. You got to take the train, public transit. You got to worry about your safety.
You're going to take the train. There's no way you're going to drive. Then why would
no way.
People don't drive to the city anyway, really like that.
Yeah.
So it's to me, it's really not much. Now, do you think this is a blueprint of what they're trying, what the Garden in New York?
I don't care. I don't know what that process was before they put that shit there. The Garden's been in New York City since I was here. So,
yeah.
I get that's the way New York is, but not us. We've been, going down to the damn South Philly for everything since I've been born. So it's just an adjustment to see that the stadium's now going to be in the middle of downtown, where it's already hectic down there just to go and get something to eat. You know what I mean? There's no parking for me to just go to the damn bar.
Yeah.
So I know it's not gonna be no parking to get to a game. So that's the biggest thing. What are the Flyers gonna do? Are they gonna what happens there?
Yeah. So I guess what was the whole thing behind them moving? They wanted to get away from the Flyers or downtown. Like, what was the reason? Do you know the reason?
So I think the main thing is that they don't own that stadium, so they want to own their own stadium.
Oh, okay.
And so that was the biggest situation. From my understanding. I could be wrong. I'll have to do more research. But I believe it was because they wanted to own that stadium. So they wanted full control versus what they are doing now. And that's pretty much the city owns that, the people, the tax dollars.
A lot of crazy stuff going in Philly right now. A lot of stuff. People panicking about the Eagles. People crying about the Sixers staying in Philadelphia. What else are we gonna have next? You know what I mean? That happens in Philadelphia. So a lot of
I'm hoping Nick Sirianni fired. That's what I'm hoping. I ain't gonna hold you.
Yeah, bro.
I can't wait. I cannot wait. Oh boy.
Let me ask you this real quick.
Mm-hmm.
Is it Super Bowl or bust? And he's
Hell no. Oh, you said what?
Like if he doesn't take us to the Super Bowl, regardless of what anybody says, if he doesn't take it to the Super Bowl, does he get fired?
I think he's going to get fired because I want to answer your question first because I don't want to leave it. I don't know if we are a Super Bowl or bust type of team. That we don't have a Super Bowl defense right now that's going to represent any Super Bowl at any time. You don't have a pass rush, no edge rushing. You can't stop the run. That's a recipe for disaster defensively. So I don't know if we're a Super Bowl team just on the first 2 weeks. Obviously, it's a long season. I think what's going to happen is that if he does not have balance and right to ship, and we don't have, can you imagine if it's a losing season, he will lose the trust in the locker room, which he's probably already on the brinks of, to the point where it's like, yeah, he's not the person that's going to be to lead us because we need more.
Yo, man,
to get us going. We don't need this is not a team that needs player coaches, unfortunately. We lost those vets that were leading, the Fletcher Cox, the Jason Kelsey's. Those are the guys that was coaching us. Those are the guys that was really being the leaders of men. It's going to be problems because you got a lot of these young guys, and you got a guy like at the quarterback position, Jalen Hurts, who's from that creed of coach's son, Nick Saban. You know what I'm saying? Like he needs that type of like, yo, this is what we doing. So right. I can see Nick going before anybody else.
Yeah, no, I agree with that part. If anybody goes, it will be Nick, but and because everybody else is paid and Nick's not. So
and you know who's coming?
Yeah,
Bill Belichick is coming.
Yeah,
which is
he would be gone.
Which would be great.
Yeah, if it's between Bill and Nick, that's a no-brainer. For sure. With football, switching the conversation, I just wanted to do all the Philly stuff out the way. A lot of stuff going on in football, a lot of soap operas, a lot of different conversations happening in different areas. One that is, I think, kind of surprised me a little bit here was the whole situation down in Carolina with Bryce Young. Once you listen to what Clowney said about his quarterback and Bryce Young.
I know he's just trying to fill it out. When you're a rookie, you don't want to step, but everybody's expecting bigger things from you because you're the quarterback. That's the only thing he don't know right now. Like, we kind of trying to pull him up there because he's the quarterback. The quarterback to me is like one of the biggest pieces in the National Football League. You know that everybody buy into their quarterback, the play of his quarterback. They carry the team, so we need Bryce to energy. Like I tell everybody, it's all about his energy. If he believe it or not, we want to see you believe it or feel it. And get the guys to buy in and get on board with that. You can lead us if you just,
Are you seeing signs?
Yeah, I think he'll be okay. He's making plays. He just ain't no talker. I played with Deshaun Watson, who wasn't no talker either. So, but he can play. On Sunday, he ain't talk.
Or he used to be able to play.
So.
We'll go Cassidy and we'll go
Bryce?
Yeah, so what happened now in Carolina is that they have replaced Bryce Young with Andy Dalton and moved him to the bench after a year last year, and then
2 games.
coming up, this year 2 games. I don't know, man, about this one. I get protecting him and maybe his confidence and letting him see how a vet leads the team, but he don't got no help, bro. There is nothing in Carolina. There's nothing to be excited about. I think Leggett from South Carolina, their first-round pick receiver, was a reach, if I'm not mistaken. Then you have Thielen as your number 2, right? You have really no type of identity on defense. You got some players. You got, was it J.C. Horn over there? Clowney is okay, but Horn is your guy as your cornerstone over there. And on offense, you like Miles Sanders is non-existent. Like, that franchise is bad right now. And he went to a bad situation. I got to sneeze in this joint.
Bless you, man. Bless you.
Yeah, thank you. So is he done in Carolina, you think? Like, is it ready to move on? Like, if I know the GM said that we're not looking at trading him right now. We're not even thinking about that. But if Miami comes knocking on the door and say, hey, we give you a 1, like, are you trading Bryce Young at this point?
I'm not trading for him. I mean, it's unfortunate. Listen, I'm gonna keep it real with you. Bryce Young doesn't look the part. He just doesn't look the part. You got to look the part, and if you're not gonna look the part, you got to play the part. That's what Clowney's telling you.
Yeah,
these are what players think. When I see you walk in that locker room and you look like my 13-year-old child, because that's real shit. These motherfuckers got kids that look just like Bryce Young.
Yeah,
big fanny, big book bag, coming in looking crazy. And you like, damn, that's the guy that's going to lead this team? Oh, come on, coach. And if he ain't going out there and showing
they're going to give him a chance, though.
Because he's the number 1 pick.
Yeah, well, they're going to give him a chance. 1, because he's the quarterback. And if his play can back up anything.
But that's the problem. He don't even look the part. So he's not physically looking the part because he's undersized. He looks like a child. And then he's not playing like the part. Like the difference. Kyler Murray gives you like that. He gives you the spark. He has ability to escape the pocket.
But he got the ball. Players, bro.
No, throw the ball to. But regardless, I'm talking about the player itself, right? We're going to talk about the player itself.
Yeah.
With the lack of the players that were in Arizona before that, because I don't know who you can tell me who was in Arizona, Kyler Murray was able to make plays by himself. He just has the strong arm. He can move around, blah, 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 right? Drew Brees, undersized, cannon, sharp, accurate, right? Saints weren't always the Saints when Drew Brees got there. You kind of get what I'm saying? You have Tua, that was kind of like on the question mark of Tua. Is Tua the guy, right? But he still had ability to be accurate with the football. Bryce, his strength is his brain, not his ability to throw the ball, but he was able to dissect things and defenses. Now that confidence is gone, his brain is now lacking, and you're seeing that on the field. It's not that he don't have players; he's missing wide open players. When I see Adam Thielen, Adam Thielen's a good guy. He in Carolina you know what I'm saying? Like he a good guy. When I see him over there,
he's a good guy. Like what?
no, I'm saying just as a person, he's like, okay, I know it's a check here. I'm here. Like he ain't winning in Carolina. That's what I'm saying. He know he's not gonna win in Carolina. But he, but I see when he's over there frustrated, like when he wide open and the ball's thrown in the dirt, and he's like, yo, what the fuck? It's the things that you just can't go. So when you have a game, when you have a team in the first 2 weeks and a new head coach, listen, he's fighting for his job too. The new head coach got to fight for his job and say he got to have some type of status. I can't play around with this guy I didn't even want that don't look like the part. That's the thing about Bryce Young, unfortunately. So I think he's going to have to probably leave Carolina. I think he's definitely done in Carolina. To answer your question, I'm not trading for him.
You gonna let him walk in Carolina?
I mean, you might not have no choice. I mean, you can keep him until the contract's up. He'll be a backup. What would he look? He's not. He just don't have it. He looks like a shell of himself. You got to look at some of them tapes. You got to look at some of the close-ups of his face. His face is like, bro, I don't even want to be out here. That's bad. That's bad. And it starts at the top with Carolina. The Panthers is a terrible organization. They set him up to fail, but he's not looking even the part to say, all right, we got something. At least we got something here, and we can build around him. He don't even look that part at all. And he's also undersized. So it's like twofold. He's going to be Josh Rosen. Unfortunately. He's going to be Josh Rosen of 2013 and 12, whatever that year that Josh Rosen went top 2 or 3. He's going to be just like that. And in Arizona, right? In Arizona, and he didn't look the part.
Yeah, no, I agree with you, but you got to have some players.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You really got to have players. Damn, Don, I'm sorry. I missed some of your stuff, man. We really wasted Hutch's 4.5 sack game. Damn, he had 4.5 sacks in one game?
He sure did. He had 3 in the first quarter.
Jesus.
He had 3 sacks in the first quarter.
I know he's leading the league in sacks, but I didn't know he had 4.5 in one game.
Bro, he had 3 in the first quarter. I thought he was going to go for a fucking record. I thought he was going to get like 7. They could not do nothing over there.
Why do the Eagles, Niners, Lions look boring? Well, the Niners are all hurt. Like they're just, you know what I mean? I think one time Kittle got carted off, but he came back and played. But there's no CMC. Now there's no Debo. Kittle's banged up. Ayuk got paid but don't look like nothing because he didn't play in preseason, didn't get the reps in. We're going to see if Brock Purdy is really the real deal, right? Because he don't got the stars now. And they back him up. Even though Mason looks like a dog, but he ain't CMC either. So we'll see what that looks like. I mean, we're going to see what the Eagles come out of these next 2 games, right? Tampa and New Orleans. And we're going to see what the Eagles really look like. Are they going to go into the bye 1-3? You know what I mean? And then I haven't really watched any of the Lions games. Be honest, you?
Just on Red Zone, a couple things. I think they just started to get Amon St. Brown the ball last week.
Yeah, he didn't do nothing.
I think they got to kind of get back to. They got to get back to the run game a little bit more. I mean, I'll tell you the truth. I think they should have won that game last week. I think they did everything they could to not win that game. Like going into halftime, I think they had a chance to put up points, and they got a 10-second runoff that messed them up. And yeah, so I think y'all should be 2-0. I think a lot of it is coming down to a lot of guys not playing the preseason, shorter preseason, and really this is their warm up games, and you're seeing that on. I mean, listen, points are down across the board. Yards by quarterback are down across the board. It's just what it is.
Yeah, I agree. And you blew the Bucks game, but I think the Bucks are better than what people are giving them credit for. You know what I mean? I think they are. I think they're a little bit better than what people are seeing, and I think you're going to continue to see that throughout the year. I know Baker's Baker, but he don't got to be special.
Yeah, I think the Bucks are just the Bucks. I think they're going to be. They can be your last seed in the playoff. they can or they cannot. I don't think they're going to be nothing more than anything else. That's just my opinion. I think Baker's done a great job. Salute to Baker being a travel guy. You know what I'm saying? Lost the opportunity there in Cleveland after leading them into the playoffs, and they haven't been in the playoffs for years. And then being a journeyman over with the Rams and finally finding a home in some team that trusts him. So I think for Baker, man, I mean, hell of a job for him. Hopefully Bryce Young can follow in those type of footsteps, possibly. But Baker just showed you, though, throughout those years that he can at least play at this level, and Bryce hasn't done that yet so far. I mean, I guess it's only a year and 2 games, but
yeah, it's only a year or 2.
Hopefully, he gets another opportunity to do that. But
and I think talking about Bryce, I think that's a great segue because obviously he was a rookie last year, and looking at these rookie quarterbacks right now, looking real suspect. Over the year. Damn, these pitches coming up all crazy. But this is from Scott Ruckel. Stats equal, going into week 3. Obviously, the bottom 3 aren't playing. But if you look at the top 2, the top 3, Caleb Williams, still no touchdown passes, 2 picks. Jaden Daniels, 2 touchdowns. 1 was a rush, no picks. And then Bo Nix, 1 touchdown, which was a rush, and 4 picks. So, we're used to seeing. Actually, let me take that back. There have been quarterbacks over time that didn't start out well, i.e., Peyton Manning had 18, 20 interceptions his first year or something like that.
Yeah.
So it does take time to understand and learn the game. But the problem is I think that we're having right now with the Bryce Youngs, the Nick Siriannis, even though he doesn't really, we're talking about quarterbacks, but they're not passing the eye test. Right, they're not passing an eye test, and then we're seeing it on the field of where they're just not ready. I think Tom Brady was a real stickler about this. He's been talking about this, about the quality of plays and how these kids are getting asked to be played earlier than should be. They're not ready. They don't understand the grind of just being in college in itself and working through a college pro program. And getting to your chance in the junior, senior year, they're coming out as soon as they can, all because of the dollar. But I mean, that's the product, right? That is the product, and the product is actually suffering because of that. Now, there's other caveats to that, like CJ Stroud came out, on fire. But what was he, a junior when he came out? Or was he a senior?
CJ, I think CJ was it's a good point. I don't know.
Red shirt? Was he? No, he was a true freshman when he played, right? He played as a true freshman in Ohio State.
Yeah, he came in and played it. Was he a true freshman? That's a good question. I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know. I have to look at that.
Yeah, and I think even Lawrence was late, right? Lawrence was at least a junior, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, he's a junior. Mm-hmm.
He was a junior. Trying to think. Herbert, I think, was probably a little bit older too.
Yeah.
Was a junior. What was Bryce?
Bryce was a junior too. Yeah.
And what about Tua? I feel like Tua was a sophomore.
No,
he had to be a junior.
He had to be a junior.
Tua
came out. I think Tua came out early too.
He was a junior. Tua came out his junior year. He didn't play his junior year because he
won
back to back. Then he won back-to-back national championships.
I think he did.
Freshman year, and then his next year he played, and then he came out his junior year, right?
Came out his junior year.
Yeah. So I mean, you're starting to see it, across the board with some of the rookie quarterbacks looking suspect. Hopefully, it gets better across the league, but as you can see, the product is kind of down.
It just takes time. It takes time for these young guys to. It takes time for these young guys to kind of get a rhythm of what it is up there to be on the second level. And these defenses are getting more and more exotic and difficult to read. It's so funny. 49ers went to Minnesota this weekend, and Brock Purdy went up to I forgot who the defense coordinator for Minnesota Vikings is right now. Is it the one that used to coach for the Miami Dolphins?
Oh man, what's his name? Black boy.
Yeah. So anyway, he went up to him at the end of the game and told him, he says, "Yo, bro, your scheme is crazy." That's what Brock said. So it's like, yo, this is a different level at this level for these rookie quarterbacks to get adjusted to. I think Jaden Daniels could be your sneaky. Speaking of betting, could be your sneaky rookie of the year. Brian Flores. It was Brian Flores. He told him. He said, "Yo," he said, "Man, your scheme was crazy today," and you can just tell. Brock didn't know what he was looking at. He wasn't able to get the opportunity to make the plays that he used to make. Obviously, he still has some major injuries. But at the end of the day, it's just different for and I can only imagine for the younger guys, for like Caleb Williams, that's realizing that, damn, I mean, these motherfuckers are fast. They're everywhere. The windows are closed. And how about let's go back to your hard knocks, Mr. Caleb Williams. I guess practice ain't as easy as the games, or easier than the games. Like, come on, bro. This is the NFL. These dudes out here ready to knock your head off your chest.
You see, he didn't want to even talk to Stroud. I mean, he could be a sore loser too, but he didn't even want to hear any of the advice that Stroud had to talk to him about.
That makes sense. Well, he'll get humble fast if it ain't happening already.
He already did.
I think he has the ability. He just has to kind of humble himself and get into that lab and realize that he has to continue to get better. And it's probably more 90% up here before the play than anything else. So, yeah, man. The problem is the money too.
Yeah, JJ got the biggest blessing when they shut him down, for sure.
Yeah, he probably saw that. He probably saw that early in his preseason too. Like, oh shoot.
Yeah. And you know who else is going to be good too? Penix.
He's able to watch. He's able to watch, and he got a good quarterback ahead of him. Yeah. Kirk Cousins is going to show you how to read the pocket, stay in the pocket, and read. So Penix is in a good spot. I like Jaden Daniels though. I hopefully he can survive some of these hits. But I feel like
they running him like 12, 15 times a game.
He's also running himself though. Like he's also like the first read, second read, he's going. But he looks confident though. You know what I'm saying? Looks like he has a little confidence. I think
he's got the look.
He got the look. So I think if you don't get hurt, I think he can be probably a sleeper of being a rookie of the year.
I think Williams has dropped. And I think Daniels and Harrison have tied for first, the last I saw. But the odds are it's too late now, in my opinion. You got to, you don't want to do a plus 200, plus 300. You know, I mean, it's okay odds, but for those long shots, you got to wait the whole year. Unless you're putting big money on it, you know, you kind of missed your window. Speaking about somebody missing a window, you know, in terms of this shit might be a wrap. Shit might be a wrap, B. Wrap that shit up, B. He's got a crazy clause to retire. We'll get into that. Tua had his, fourth concussion in the last 2 years. All have been pretty devastating with the hands stiffening up. We've all, you know, kind of seen it. And we were talking about it in the chat earlier today. So what is it? He has a retirement clause that if he's cleared to play and he retires, he does not get $167 million of that new deal he signed.
No, it's the opposite. So he's entitled to, if he retires, he gets the 167. Regardless, he's gonna get that. He's gonna get all that money if he retires. If he does, if he ends up not able to play because of medical reasons, which he's not, because the NFL is not going, they're going to clear him, then he's going to lose the 124 that's left on the deal. So it's 167 and it's another 124 on top of that. He won't get the 124.
So here it is. Miami Dolphins have a $49.3 million insurance policy on the quarterback, Tua Tagovailoa. Insured policy to kick in if Tua is not cleared by doctors to return to play. The 4-year, $212 contract Tua signed this season includes $167 million in injury guarantees, 43 of it which has already been paid. Dolphins will be obligated to pay out the rest of the guarantee, $124 million, if Tua is not medically cleared to return to the NFL.
Yep. So I mean,
hold on. So you think they're not going to clear him?
No, they are going to clear him.
Well, then he don't get the money.
Yeah, he's not going to get the 124.
Yeah.
He's already going to get. He's already 167 is going to get. If he retires, he get the 167. He already got the 43. Got the 43 already.
That was the 43 out of the 167 now.
Yes. So
in the 124, it says if Tua is not medically cleared to return to the NFL, then they are obligated to pay out the rest. So the Dolphins would be obligated to pay out the rest of the guarantee, $124 million, if Tua is not medically cleared to return. If he's cleared to return, then they don't.
Here we go. If he retires, what happens is the remaining $124 million of the money will depend on whether he's forced to retire or simply wants to. But before that, of the 167 in guarantees, he's already had the 43 million.
Yeah, right.
Right?
Yep.
His full contract is a 212 with 167 million guaranteed. That made him one of the highest paid. So
yeah.
Either way, he's going to get the remaining of the 124. So 124 plus the 40 is the 167. That's what I told. That's what I said.
That's not what I'm reading, but
if he retires, what happens to the remaining 124 million in guarantee? It will depend on whether he's forced to retire or simply wants to.
Yeah.
If he's medically forced to retire, then he gets the 124. If he doesn't, okay, I'm saying.
Yeah.
He will forego the 124, right?
Yeah, exactly. But that's what I'm saying. You think I'm pretty sure they're gonna clear him. Yeah, no, Quinion looked good, Don. Quinion looked good. He looked like he's a real deal. He passes the eye test. He looks like a shutdown corner. And the people say he was so quiet, but on the field, he don't play quiet. I'll tell you that. He don't play quiet at all. He got crossed over by Robinson or something ugly. But I mean, it's Bijan Robinson. What you gonna do? But I agree. He does look nice. He definitely does look nice. Yeah. But it is a pretty kind of crazy clause because it was built in case he did get injured because of his injury history. But I think the consensus across everybody, people who spoke out, who knows him, he should retire. We're talking about quality of life at this point.
Yeah.
I think he's got a kid or two.
Yep.
You know, I mean, you do got some money. Unfortunately, it didn't happen for you, brother. You got to live out your dream a little bit, but you know, you're more likely already going to have CTE and all these other issues.
Jeez.
You know, not too long from now, because these guys are like late 30s, early 40s, talking about these brain injuries that they already have and issues that they're having going to sleep, dizzy, having trouble with their equilibrium, all this stuff. So, quality of life is huge.
It's way more important.
And it's about you, the person, not you, the football player. So,
and what's going to end up happening? You're going to get back on the field and it's going to be another hit.
Yeah,
it's not going to get better. It's just you're just delaying the process, and the process is going to be worse. We're already seeing it now.
It's like a boxer who gets knocked out, and then he continues to get
knocked out.
He continues to get knocked out because he got his bell rung once, and it's just like,
and it's unfortunate.
It didn't look like a bad hit. That's the crazy.
It wasn't. It wasn't a bad hit. It wasn't a bad hit at all.
Like a crazy hit. That was the crazy thing about it that I thought about it.
So hopefully he makes the right decision. I'm sure he will be right back. I'm sure he's not going to leave that money on the table, and it's unfortunate, but hopefully his family can kind of talk to him, let him know that it's family first, and he got plenty of money. There's plenty of money he's going to get.
Yeah.
I mean, it's life-changing. So.
Yeah, and it's not like he can't go back and commentate, go back to
right.
him. Like,
smart kid.
Yeah.
Coach. But the health is more important.
Facts.
People want to talk about, well, what about boxers and UFC guys? I said, but that's a different game.
It is.
And also, most importantly, anybody that gets knocked out in boxing got to wait 3 months to get back in the ring. Tua can't wait 3 months in a season.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Like, it's different.
Yeah, I agree. There we go. Finally one that works, right?
Sure.
All right, so couple surprises here, a couple, not surprises. I think that when you look at this list, if you didn't know, since 2020, only 2 teams who started 0-2 have went on to the playoffs. So looking at this list of 0-2 teams and knowing that only 2 teams who've started out 0-2 made the playoffs in the last it might be worse. I feel like it was longer than that instead of 4 years. I thought it was a little bit longer than that in terms of years. Who you think might still make it to the playoffs out of these teams, bro?
Make it to the playoffs?
Yeah, who's gonna make it to the playoffs?
I mean, looking at the schedule, Cincinnati has a better way to that. We're looking at Washington Commanders next week, Panthers week after that. Then they're going to go head to head against the Redskins. I'm sorry, against the Ravens. Then you got the Giants. Like they have some ability to get back on track with their wins. The team that I'm really worried about here is the Ravens, bro. Their schedule is not good early on. They got to play Dallas this week, which is going to be a tough game. Both teams are desperate to win.
Yeah,
Then they're going to play the Bills.
That's in Dallas, right?
That's in Dallas. Then they got to play the Bills at home. And then they got to play the Bengals. And then they got Washington in the gap. But then they got to play the Buccaneers and the Browns. Like the Ravens, I would say probably are really up against. You want to talk about what did you say about the Eagles earlier? Are they? What was the word you said? Are we?
What?
You said something like, "Are we over exaggerating?" It's something like that on that end. Like, should you be concerned? If I'm a Ravens fan, I'm concerned.
Yeah,
I'm really
that's
concerned.
A bad loss to
the Raiders.
To the Raiders, because they were up 10, and they put a stat line up there. Goddamn Ravens in the survivor pool, man, kill me. But they put a stat up there that the Raiders down more than 10 or plus more points in the fourth quarter. They were 0-49, bro. 0-49. You know how many seasons that is? For that to, and like, you know what I mean? For that to even be a case, like you might even have to go back to like the Rich Gannon Raiders. You know what I mean? Like we're talking about as far back. So yeah, I agree with you. I think the Ravens are pretenders. I really think they are. I don't know.
I mean, I don't know if they're pretenders. I just think they just got a tough schedule, and they just lost that easy one against. I mean, they had a tough schedule either way.
Yeah,
but you can't lose the Raiders to kind of keep up. They're not going to have enough wins. I mean,
that was a really bad loss.
Yeah, but the Bengals for me in this list, I think they had the better opportunity to turn their season around.
I feel like the Bengals going to implode the way they look right now.
But you know what? They always start off slow. That's been their motto, and they've kind of kicked it into gear later on in the season. I mean, is any of these other teams you care about? The Giants, the Carolina Panthers, the Titans, the Colts?
Nah, I got caught up in the Colts hype from that first game, and then I let myself get caught up because even though he had some wild plays, he had 2 plays that were 100-yard plays that were crazy. Maybe only one other person in the league maybe can do the play. Probably Josh Allen can do the play that he threw that ball. But when you take away those 2 plays, he only had like 60, 70 yards passing out the game. You know what I'm saying? And he was thrown for 50%. So, like, those wild plays make you like, oh, wow. But, you know, but it was against Houston, so it was a quality opponent too. But they had a bad loss the next game.
Let me ask you a question. Is Trevor Lawrence, is he not that guy?
No, he's not that guy. I've never thought he was that guy. I've always been on that boat. I'll tell you that right now. I'm not him and Burrow. I don't understand. Like they talk about Jalen Hurts. They talk about Lamar Jackson. They talk about trying to think somebody else who's up in that tier with those 2. But those 2 just kind of stick out to me because they're always being talked about of how they need to become better quarterbacks and they're running backs at the position, et cetera, this and that. These jokers ain't win nothing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like Jalen Hurts took his team to the Super Bowl.
Sure did.
And balled out.
Sure did.
You know what I'm saying? Against a GOAT of a team, an elite defense, an elite coach, a GOAT DC. I mean, a GOAT quarterback. And made it a game. Now the Bird, I mean, since he had I believe they had a good game, but they ain't sniffed anything close from that since then. And Trevor Lawrence, they had 1 year. That 1 year when they lost to KC, unfortunately, just in the wrong time and the wrong era at home at Jacksonville. I remember watching that game because that was a heartbreaker game. But they haven't recovered from that since.
Yeah, I mean, I think Burrow is that guy. I just think he's just hurt. He's just not healthy. I think he's going to be an Andrew Luck. He's just not going to be able to stay healthy for his career. You know, every year is an
Bro,
injury.
you got to be available.
You got to be available. I agree. But when he was available, when he was available, he took him to the Super Bowl.
I don't like looking at elite talent and calling them elite talent, but they're hurt.
Yeah.
Then you're really not. You're not an elite player if you're hurt all the time. Because that's part of the game. You know what I mean? If you're brittle, then you're brittle. I mean, it's unfortunate, genetics, whatever his situation is. This motherfucker rolled out and pulled his fucking calf. And then he shows up with blonde hair. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
No, I don't know, man. I think they should be held accountable just like Hurts and Lamar is, because Lamar and them, they be, man.
You know, you go with the Ravens. Did you look at their schedule, Don? Where do you see them at in 6 weeks? They're all tough games. I just named them. You got Cowboys coming off an embarrassing loss. That's unfortunate because they're going to probably give them they all. But good thing they got the Henry. They realized they can't stop the run, so that should lean in their favor. Still not going to be easy win. But besides that, then you got to go up against the Bills, who look real good.
Yeah,
the Bills look real good.
I knew the Bills were going to look good.
Defense look real good, and then you got the Bengals, and we'll see what the Bengals going to be doing. Then 2 weeks later, after that, you got the Bucks, the Browns, and then you're going into your division: Bengals, Steelers. You got to play the Chargers. Like, it's not an easy slate for the Ravens here. I don't see them making the playoffs, or I don't see them. I see Bengals making a better opportunity here.
Yeah, but I agree. Others list probably lean Bengals having the best chance, but I don't think any of these guys are going to make the playoffs. Rams are done. Rams are cooked, unfortunately. Too many injuries.
Well, somebody got to make the playoffs out that division. You think the Steelers going to do it?
Yeah, I think the Steelers will. I do. I do think the Steelers will.
What a coach! What a coach, Mike Tomlin! What a coach Mike Tomlin is.
He's a coach.
What a coach!
He belongs
Don't
in the
get the
GOAT
credit.
conversation.
He got the Steelers 2-0 right now with two quarterbacks.
I think the Steelers will. I don't think Russell gets the starting job back. I mean, I don't see how you can move from somebody going 3-0. That's tough to do in the NFL. I think it's the first time they've been 2-0 in like 10 years or something like that. I think I saw. And then if they go 3-0, we're talking about back, in Ben's prime heyday. So, and they got a defense. I mean, they always had a defense, but that defense is cooking over there. So they're playing well. They're playing well. If as long. I think they gave the game ball to Russell last game. I think I read somewhere.
They did because they got the game in Denver. He won. It was a sympathy game ball. Sympathy game ball.
Yeah. So I mean, I think that I think you stick with Fields.
So let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
I know. They made a big pickup. A good pickup. Miami getting Travis Huntley or Hunter? Travis Huntley at quarterback.
Yeah, Huntley.
The backup that was for Baltimore.
Yeah.
Are you making phone calls to Pittsburgh right now and seeing what they're gonna do, but see what they think about Russell over there? Possibly save your season?
Yeah, but how does the money work with that? Well, I guess it doesn't really.
He ain't no money. They ain't paying him nothing.
Yeah, that's a good call. Right? What do you give up for Russ though? What are you trading for Russ?
What, a 6th round?
A 4? A 6?
Hell, a 4? What? I'm paying no 4. I give you a 5. I give you a 5. I mean, I'm not gonna give you much, bro. You ain't got.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like but hey, if I'm Miami, Russ can still throw the ball downfield to get that ball to Tyreek Hill.
You not shit, bro.
I mean, come on. I'm saying, but if I'm GM, I'm on the phone.
Round draft pick.
I just thought about that just now. Like, damn, all right, you got your quarterback, right? Yeah. I'll trade Huntley. You know what I'm saying? And give you a 5th and use Huntley as my backup over here.
Who's coming out this year? It's a weak class for college, right?
Who's coming out? Quarterback? Oh, you got some guys coming out. You got Quentin Ewers coming out. That's what the Giants are going to probably be fighting for. So Ewers is going to be coming out. You got Ward's going to be coming out of Miami.
Would it be special down there in Miami if he stayed?
He would be. But I'm thinking right now, I mean, you're not going to give Russell a long-term deal, but you give him the same bullshit you're going to get that they're giving up in Pittsburgh right now.
No, you just get him for the year, and then
get him for the year.
Yeah, and then if he gets you to the playoffs, then you don't have to worry about. But if I'm Miami, I'm thinking already about my next quarterback. I'm tanking.
Damn, tanking.
I think that's why they went with Skyler. They're going to see what they got in them, and then you'll know because now you know.
Oh God, we already know what they got in Skyler.
Yeah, I know, but that's what the conversation is going to be. We're going to see what we got in Thompson.
No, man, it's not because your division is so weak right now. You just got to worry about Buffalo. It's like, yo, I got an opportunity here, and
who are you going to be, bro? Come on.
What you mean?
Season's over for them. It's over.
But if you get Russ,
does he really move the needle for you like that?
I think Russ definitely keeps him afloat. What's the difference between Russell Wilson and Tua? Not much.
Tua better,
but not by much.
Tua's better, bro.
I mean, yeah, he is better, but he's not. It's not Skylar Thompson. You know what I'm saying?
No. Yeah.
I'm just saying that's the idea. That's what I would think. If you, especially for the cheap. I mean, just an idea.
Yeah, no, I heard you. So with speaking of college football, we'll switch it right back. And people and quarterbacks coming out.
Oh, you got Shador coming out.
Let's talk about this man.
Game. Oh, look at Arch Manning. Oh, hit him.
Boy,
with the two-step.
20 miles an hour for Manning.
Touchdown.
Pulling away. Arch Manning comes in for the hurt viewers and explodes of this offense. Had 5 touchdowns, right? His first play was a touchdown pass.
Yes.
So the scouting report for Arch Manning makes a man miss in the open field and then turns on the Jets. How about 16 and burnt orange?
That's crazy. A Manning running like that.
That is kind of crazy.
Unbelievable.
That's more crazy. That's more crazy than anything. Just seeing a Manning run. That's more different.
Absolutely. So what we just saw, obviously, Ewers is the man in Texas, but you're the head coach of University of Texas. Where are you going? Like, obviously, Manning's going to play now, but once Ewers is healthy, you're Steve. Was it Sarkisian?
What do you mean? What are we asking here?
Are you going back to Ewers?
Hell yeah, I'm going back to Ewers. What do you mean? Ewers is the man in Texas. Like, what are you talking about? He ain't lose his job. Man ain't gonna be a backup until it's his time. Ewers the guy. Ewers led his team to the playoffs last year. Ewers went to the big house last week and dominated the Wolverines in the big house.
Wolverines suck.
It don't matter. It's hard. You can't just go into these places and dominate the way he did. Like, what? Ewers is doing the same thing that Manning did. He played UTSA, my guy.
He did.
Like, come on. They got Georgia 2 weeks from now. You see what I'm saying? Like, come on. Like,
you think Ewers will be ready by Georgia?
He got an oblique injury. I think it's an abdominal oblique injury. So it's gonna be difficult. I don't know if it's how serious it is, but maybe he may need a couple weeks off. Obviously, Manning will be. I don't know who they got next week. Who Texas got this week?
Somebody they're gonna beat by 50. I think that's what the line was.
Yeah. So he can hold them afloat. I mean, obviously, it's a great opportunity for Texas to see that their future is there, right? You got a player that right behind yours that's going to be the future.
I mean, but if he goes out and throws for like 6 touchdowns,
okay. Yeah, but I mean, I'm not going to bench yours. If he throws 6 touchdowns against a Georgia, then we talking a different story.
Right.
We talking about UTSA. Like, come on.
I know they Louisiana Monroe. That's who it is.
Yeah.
So he's gonna go out there and if now okay. So what if they have Louisiana Monroe, Mississippi State, and Oklahoma. Now at Oklahoma will be a tough game.
Mm-hmm.
Now,
one of the hardest places to play.
If he plays and wins all those games, and you got Georgia, who are you going? Manning or Ewers?
Well, it depends on how Ewers is doing. If he's getting back and he's like
They're
ready
both
to go.
healthy. He's ready to go.
I don't think Manning plays against Oklahoma. So
Okay.
you see what I'm saying? Like at that point, I don't
that's what I'm
think
saying. Like if Manning goes into Oklahoma and they show out and he has an amazing game at Oklahoma, do you think then we take a step back? Like, okay, we might have to.
Well,
Because even though Ewers is the man, Manning still could be the better quarterback.
but I don't know if that's true. I think Ewers is a great
Yeah,
quarterback.
I don't know if it's true either. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I think Ewers is a good quarterback. Is a great quarterback, actually. I mean, he had 2 touchdowns before he got hurt. Like, he also had 2 touchdowns.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it was 14 to 16, 2 touchdowns. I think they had a tip pass for interception. But besides that, he was 14 for 16, 2 touchdowns. So I think at the end of the day, if Ewers is not healthy by Oklahoma, then you got to kind of start saying, okay, I might have to stay with the hot hand if Manning is somehow cooking. If Manning go to Mississippi State and looks crazy, leads him into Oklahoma and looks crazy, then at that point you got to stay with Manning.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Only because he's shown the hot hand.
Yeah.
But if
Right.
Ewers is back by Oklahoma, which I think he should be, which would be 3 weeks, then I think he starts.
So the odds are already all over Manning. He's now plus 2,000 to win the Heisman.
Don't waste your time.
Mm.
It's not his time yet. Everybody has their time.
Mm-hmm.
You got a glimpse of him against UTSA. As a Texas fan, I'm so happy because I know that he chose us to go to Texas. He stayed. He could have went anywhere right now. He knew Ewers was there. He didn't have to wait. He could play anywhere. He wants to be there. He's not in a rush. Good family behind him. Uncles, Papa, Daddy, Grandpappy. He's straight.
Right. Right.
You know what I'm saying? Getting crazy NIL money, being a backup quarterback. He good. My man is good. Wait your time. Your time is coming, my guy. Your time is coming.
Let me ask you this.
And the bags is Louis.
Let me ask you this. Since we always talk about betting and gambling show, make sure you guys are around for tomorrow as we do our football and NFL pod and we're best bets. And I ain't gonna hold you. I got cooked last week.
A lot of people, everybody did.
We're gonna show you guys on how to bounce back. So if you in the same boat and you got cooked last week and even got cooked maybe a little bit in week 1 a little bit, because we started off hot and then it just went south real fast. Make sure that you are watching notifications. I don't like to do the like comment, but you gotta watch. You gotta, if you're still watching, you're with us. That means you're still rocking with us. So make sure you're around for some more of those videos so we can give you some best bets. And I don't know how we missed the Eagles game last week, but we'll make sure we have the Eagles game for last week. But real quick, the last thing I wanted to talk about, Heisman Trophy winners right now. Mm-hmm. Is this Cam Ward's award to lose at this point? I thought Travis Hunter would be higher. He's only plus 3,500.
Can we put those odds up? Is that possible?
Yeah. I can do that for sure. Makes sense. Is it going to share? Yeah, I feel like I need a new computer, bro. John B. Messing with me. All right, I'll zoom in just a little bit there so we can see that. All right, there we go. All right, so we got Cam Ward, Jason Dart, Monroe, Nico, Dylan, Carson Beck, Howard, Arch right there. I tell you right there with Ewers. I'm assuming because they feel like we just talked about, if Arch goes on a run,
they don't know.
Going to Georgia.
I'll tell you this. I'm gonna tell you this.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you this right now.
Ewers?
Put some money on Travis Hunter. Just put some money on Travis Hunter. I'm gonna tell you why. Because with Ewers going down, not sure how long he's gonna go down for.
Yeah.
That kind of messes the top of the mark. I think it's only between two players. Quentin Ewers or it's going to be Cam Ward. Cam Ward now scheduled to finish out the season is pretty light. South Florida, Virginia Tech, California, Louisville, Florida State. We know they shit.
Yeah.
Duke, Georgia Tech, Wake Forest, and Syracuse. He should roll. Miami might go undefeated and be a number one seed in the playoffs.
Yep.
So I'm gonna look at that also next. Look at Miami to be a number one seed. Definitely make the playoffs. Probably gonna be crazy juice right now.
Yeah.
So there's no real Heisman games for Heisman moments for Cam. Just besides him doing his regular maybe 2 touchdowns a game, 200, 300 yards a game, blah, blah, blah. But if Travis Hunter continues to score the way he's been scoring and defending the way he's been defending, there's no reason he should not be in New York come Heisman time. So I would sprinkle some money on there because if he continues to do what he's doing, I can see that being an opportunity. And I see the value is big there. I'm just talking about value. So my bets would be on Travis Hunter and Cam Ward between those two guys. Carson Beck looked bad last week against Kentucky. Dylan Gabriel and Oregon been struggling. Will Howard just doesn't do enough for Ohio State. Sprouts roll up. And the only thing you got to worry about is and Quentin Ewers, who was going to be the guy, is injured. So Nico is not in a big enough conference to be able to make those noise. Jalen Milroe just doesn't look good enough. And Jackson Dart, nobody knows about Ole Miss like that. So Ole Miss is going to now Jackson's going to have some opportunities as far as Heisman moments to play against these big teams. I'm sure they got Alabama. They're going to have the SEC games, but nobody knows enough about Jackson Dart to be shooting him up there like that. My opinion.
No, I agree. I
might do that right now, actually.
So I do like the Travis Hunter just because he's just so special in terms of what he's actually doing this year. I just looked at some numbers, and he is second in touchdowns and receiving touchdowns. I don't think he has a pick yet, but he's top 10 in receiving yards. And I don't think he has a pick yet. Does he even have a pick yet?
Who?
Hunter. He might have one.
Travis Hunter got a pick?
Yeah.
He got 2 picks. He got 2.
He got 2? I don't see him on the list.
He had a hit. I think got 2 picks.
He got 2? Okay. Yeah, but what he's doing is like you said, is special, and the numbers, the odds right now are favorable for him to be able to make that bet. So I do like it. And if what you're saying is true about Quentin Ewers, I think I like Quentin Ewers' bet too. Because he'll have opportunity.
Yeah.
I mean, like you said, he'll be back at Oklahoma, then versus Georgia. Those are big Heisman moment games, like you said. So I think he'll have some opportunity there. I like his numbers at 20 to 1. Makes a lot of sense.
Look at these numbers. I'm just gonna go real quick. So I want you to look at what's happening here.
What's up?
That value there plus what was Travis Hunter plus 3,500?
3,500.
Oh my gosh! Hold on.
Gonna got that killer look in his eyes. I mean,
because that's crazy. That's crazy. Crazy numbers right now. All right, through 2 games.
When Desmond got it, what did Desmond do?
So listen to this. Travis Hunter last year had 57 receptions, 721 yards, 5 touchdowns. So far in 2 games, was it 3 games or 2 games? 3 games? 3 games. He has 30 catches in 3 games. That's 10 catches a game.
Yeah.
342 yards. That's 100 yards a game plus.
Yeah.
5 touchdowns already. All right. Obviously, it's hard to get defensive stats here. But let me see. Defensive stats. He has Obviously, he's your lockdown defender. He has 1 interception already.
Yeah, so it's just the one. Yeah.
1 interception. But I think it's a bunch of pass breakups though.
Yeah, for sure.
It's crazy, and he's playing full time on both sides. Like that just doesn't get done. So at plus 3,500, bro, sprinkle $25, $30, $50. Just put it on there.
Yeah.
It's worth the gamble. You put money on a goddamn lottery ticket and all these goddamn parlays. This is the opportunity for something that I can see happen because it's really light at the top.
Yeah, no,
It's really 2 players: Cam Ward, Quentin Ewers, and then who?
Travis.
Yes, and Travis. And he's at plus 3,500.
Yeah,
Go get it.
I like it. That's what we do. Got to bring you value, right? That's what we see. That's what we're here for, bringing you value each and every week. I want to add that we will add some of the videos from the clips from today. So if you guys made it this far in the show, let me bring up the kind of switch it up here. You made it this far in the show, I will add 2 videos right here for you guys to kind of hit back and clip. There'll be chapters and stuff like that. So appreciate everybody for joining us at Gambling Nights. I'm Moss Money. That's Be Humble. We will see you guys next week. Good night, everybody.